What is going on, guys? It's your boy Dyllan and welcome back to another Destiny 2 build guide. If you saw one of my videos a couple of days ago that I posted called the Volatile Lion build, this is the exact same thing, but it is specifically made for Titans. The previous build was for Warlocks only, but funnily enough I've managed to actually get it to work for Titans as well. I'm going to try and do the exact same thing for Hunters, so then every single class can have fun and experience the build, no matter what class you play. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. So first of all, we're going to dive into the subclass. I'll show you what it is first. So for the super, I have Ward of Dawn. Main reasons for this is Weapons of Light, as it gives you an increase to damage for your weapons. And if you are, say, in need of a grenade, you can pop your super and it'll give you instant grenade cooldown. For the abilities, I have Rally Barricade because it has a shorter base cooldown. For the jump, I've gone Strafe Lift, use whichever you want. For the melee, I've gone Shield Throw, again, as it has a faster base cooldown. For the grenade, we're going to be using Vortex Grenades for this build, as they're really good in PVE. They essentially deal damage over time, and they will suck all the enemies towards the Vortex Grenade, which is really good. Moving on to the aspects, we have Controlled Demolition, which is hitting a target with a Void ability or Volatile Explosion makes them volatile. Further damage to a volatile target causes them to explode, which is pretty much what this build is centered around. It's volatile targets and volatile rounds. The next one is Offensive Bulwark, which is while you have an overshield or are inside Ward of Dawn, your grenade charges significantly faster, you have increased melee range and damage, and your melee final blows extend the duration of your overshield. Moving on to the fragments, we have Persistence, which is void buffs applied to you, aka Overshield or Devour for us in this case, has increased duration. You have Undermining, which is your void grenades weaken targets. You have Starvation, which is picking up a void breach or an orb of power, grants Devour, so this ties in really well with the Persistence. We have Instability, which is defeating targets with grenades grants volatile rounds to your void weapons, as that is pretty much what the entire build is centered around. Now moving on to the armor stats, prioritize resilience and discipline as much as possible, as we're going to be wanting grenades and our barricade up as often as possible. Finally, moving on to the armor, we have going straight into the helmet. I'll show you the mods and I'll show you the exotic piece in a second when we get to it. So we have a Void Siphon in here, which is rapid void weapon final blows create an orb of power. And then personally I have 2 Ashes to Acid, so for our grenade kills we get bonus super energy. For the gauntlets I have a Void Loader, as we're going to be using the Fighting Lion. And I have Grenade Kickstart, which is when your grenade energy is fully expended you gain grenade energy. Font of Focus, which is you gain a bonus to discipline while you have any armor charge, but in return the armor charge will decay over time. The exotic armor piece of choice is Heart of Inmost Light. This thing did get a nerf going into Lightfall, but it is still really good. So this thing, essentially, if you use an ability, it buffs your 2 other abilities. So 9 times out of 10, what I usually do, pop your barricade, and then your grenade and melee deal significantly more damage. For the mods in here, I can pretty much say use whatever you want in your chest piece. It doesn't really matter too much. You could have 3 resist mods in here if you want to, but charged up works really well in this build, as it increases the maximum number of stacks of armor charge that you can carry by 1. And moving on to the boots, we have 2 innovation mods, which is reduce grenade cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power, and then you have Void Weapon Surge. Your void weapons gain a small bonus to damage while you have any armor charge. And for the class item, we have 3 bomber mods in here. You could actually, if you wanted to, put Time Dilation on here, as it'll give you a longer duration on your armor charge. So what we'll do is that we'll actually have 2 bomber mods and a Time Dilation. And for the weapons, Fighting Lion is going to be the weapon of choice. This is essential for the build. This thing is crazy fun at the moment with a lot of the artifact mods and this void build in general. So how you use this thing is essentially you want to throw a grenade and damage enemies with the weapon. Once you shoot and kill them with the Fighting Lion, it will instantly reload as soon as you kill a person that is damaged by your grenade. But again, you can just use it however you want to. You can just shoot them wherever you want, however you want, doesn't really matter. It's got infinite ammo, never runs out. It uses kinetic ammo, so that's what makes it very, very unique. For the other weapons of choice, kinetic, use whatever you want. I've gone with an SMG. Heavies, again, whatever you want, as long as it's void, so you can use volatile rounds. I would recommend a high rounds per minute LMG. This one is not high round per minute. Ideally, you want a 900 RPM machine gun, as you'll be able to proc volatile rounds more often. And moving on to the artifact now, there's a couple of mods in here that make this build stupidly good. So we have Volatile Flow, picking up an orb of power grants your void weapons volatile rounds, so aka volatile rounds for our fighting lion. We have Shatter Orbs, which is the first time you break a combatant shield, you create an orb of power if you break the shield with the matching damage type. Bricks from Beyond, which is defeating a powerful combatant with a void weapon, has a chance to generate heavy ammo for you and your teammates. And then we have Void Weapon Channeling, which is you gain a temporary bonus to void weapon damage for your void weapons if you defeat a target with a void weapon while one of your void abilities is fully charged. This damage bonus increases based on the number of fully charged void abilities you have. And that is pretty much it for the artifact. The rest of the video is just going to be gameplay. I'm going to be working on the Hunter version of this build as I pretty much upload this, so hopefully be on the lookout for that. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice rest of your day. Peace.
impressive. For a throttle junkie.
No, you infantry boys are all the same. Tough talk when it's time for drinking, but when the shooting starts, you're crying for air support.